Hey guys, coming at you again from Misty's spot on the couch. And today I decided to just cram my monopod right between the ottoman and the couch and use it as a tripod because I'm being lazy. I have like 3 other tripods in the house right now and I could set them up. But I've got my monopod with my phone, just testing out things. And also I'm testing out whether or not my phone will take the audio and video and unsync them, because my old phone used to do this. And I've got a good long video on this phone, and I'm going to see if, now that I have a lot of the memory used up, if towards the end of the memory it starts doing that thing again where it unsyncs my voice from the video, like my old phone did. So, today I want to talk about one more difference that I've seen between the Republican Party and the Democratic Party in the caucus system here in Colorado. And that is, the Democratic Party has a gender target that they're trying to reach as far as representation, right? They have a quota for trying to get to equal representation between men and women in their party as delegates. And this is something that doesn't come across in the video that I took in the county assembly. And I posted it a couple days ago. Now, in the first minute of that video, you can see that I zoom in on a table that says sign up to be a delegate at large, right? And in previous videos I said the reason why I needed to sign up to be a delegate at large was because I gave up my spot to be for sure state delegate to a guy named Quan who works as a staffer for a state representative, and it would look a lot better on his resume, and I'm just a YouTuber who does this shit for just shits and giggles and putting video out there to you guys, right? This guy, it's his life. So I was like, I'll let him go, right? But I also knew that I could sign up as a delegate at large, and if somebody doesn't show up to the state assembly, I still can get their credentials and then vote anyway, right? I know the system because this is not my first rodeo, right? So I show up to the county assembly, get my credentials for the county assembly, walk over to the delegate at large desk and sign up for the state assembly to be a delegate at large. And there were also sign-up sheets for the for the congressional assembly, which that's Thursday, which as I'm filming this is tomorrow, and I'll film that for you guys too. But Quan let me have the congressional assembly because basically it's just a coronation at this point because the guy's running unopposed, so there's no decision to be made, and really the state assembly is where they vote on resolutions and platform planks and whatnot. So that's the one that looks good as a bullet point on a resume. That's the penultimate thing that you can do as just a lowly peon who isn't elected into office to be in a party and be part of the process as a delegate, right? In an off election year. Now, in presidential election years, the ultimate thing would be to go to the National Assembly, and those are all basically like Super Bowl parties. The party picks what city they're going to be in, and everyone has to fly into it, and many of the people who go as delegates are actually elected officials anyway. And the process happens at the state assembly, where the people are chosen as far as who's going to go on to the National Assembly. So, and that's the caucus system, right? those of you who have primary systems in your states, it's not as complicated. And I do wish that my state would do away with the caucus system, but it is the system in place, and to be politically active and responsible and keep your eyes open, you need to abide by the system that you're in. So, the delegated at-large table. In the first minute of the county assembly video that I put up, you can see me zooming in on it. And I actually had to wait for the right moment to zoom in on it, because I was zooming in on the sign that they put on the front of the table, you know, like waist high and below, right? And what I noticed was, if I were to have zoomed in on it at any different time, people who were signing up for the spots on it, they were bent over, and so it would look like I was trying to film their asses. And I was like, cannot make people think that I'm a creeper. I'm the only one here with a camera. You know, look at the video. Look, like, when I pan across the whole room, nobody else is filming this thing but me, right? So I'm not going to be filming people's asses. So I had to wait for no asses to be present in the video to just zoom in on that table, just to get that one shot for the first minute of my video, right? This is after I got my credential and then went over there to sign up to be delegate at large. What I saw when I signed up, I couldn't take a picture of or take some video of, because it would have made people think that maybe I was, I don't know, doing opposition research, or I was some sort of creeper. It just looked very like an inappropriate thing to take a video of, but it was something of great importance as far as explaining this whole gender target that the Democratic Party has. At the top of one of the sign-in sheets for being a delegate at large, I believe it was for a county spot, the sign-up sheet said, it written in highlighter, 9 men, 26 women, right? And when I got up there to sign in to be a delegate at large, they pointed me to the right side of the table and said, okay, men sign over there, women sign over here. So there was 2 separate sets of sheets for state or congressional delegate at large, right? And all I needed was state delegate at large, because I'm already a congressional delegate from my precinct, right? So not only did I have to sign up on a different sheet, to me, when I saw that, 9 men were needed and 26 women were needed, to me that told me I had less of a chance of being a delegate at large if I were to sign up as a man, right? And I was number 47 on that list for being a delegate at large for the state assembly. And I didn't press them further as far as where these quotas were being applied and how they were being applied, but it was very apparent to me that they were targeting the delegates at large to add more women to the assemblies going forward. Too many men had already taken up too many slots, and they're going for maybe like a 50-50 ratio, right? So in order to make sure that is the outcome, they've put into place a process where they just pick more women from the at-large pool to become delegates at the assembly going forward. The Republican Party did not have this for the 2 years that I caucused for them in 2012 and 2014. They did not have anything like this. And yet, looking around the room, if you were to just take the videos that I already have on this channel of those old-ass assemblies, right? And then the one that I just posted for the county assembly here in 2018 for the Democratic Party, you'll see that the demographics of both parties look really similar in that more than half the people are silver-haired white men with a 50-50 chance of having a bald spot that's prominent. Okay? When I pan across the room, I don't see a lot of results from all of the outreach that the Democratic Party would do for minorities as far as getting them involved. I see about the same amount of minority delegates as I would in the Republican Party. But at least the Democratic Party has a method that they put into place to make sure that on the lines of gender, they're controlling for outcome to make sure that they are diverse, right? To make sure that they have a ratio that pretty much matches the constituency, right? We're 50-50 men and women here in America, right? So I don't know how I feel about it in that the outcome doesn't seem to be that much different than having no system at all. And in the moment when I looked at the sign-up sheets, I was like, well, fuck. I'll just sign up as a woman. I'm not in the Republican Party anymore. I'm in the Democratic Party, and they're progressive. And who are they to tell me if I'm a woman or not today? Because I want to be a delegate, and women have a better chance of being a delegate. I might as well just sign up on the women's sheet, because Democrats ain't going to tell me that I'm not a woman. Ain't you never heard of the bearded lady? So I stopped myself, and I did sign up on the men's sheet, but that was my initial reaction was, I want to be on the side that has a better chance of getting what I'm here to get, I'm being shorted, but just by being Y chromosome deficient here, But overall, when I looked around the room, I didn't feel that threatened by them having a system in place that favors gender equality. When I looked around the room, I was like, well, shit. They have all these systems in place to try to make it so that there's more women and there's more minorities in the party, and it's a bunch of silver-haired white dudes with, a bunch of bald spots here and there. Just look at my video, So yeah, does it really matter? I don't know. A big difference gender-wise as far as the Republican Party versus the Democratic Party at this point at the county assembly. With my experiences being in the Republican Party in 2012 and 2014, and now in the Democratic Party in 2018, a big difference is the number of candidates that we have to vote for that are female. That's where the real diversity and gender equality has been enacted in the Democratic Party. The selections that we have to vote for are leaning more towards almost all female. It was almost like an Amazonian tribe was taking over. There's a lot more women running for office on the Democratic side than there were on the Republican side, And I saw right before my eyes guys losing to women, which on the Republican side didn't see as much of that. If there was a strong man running against a woman, he's got a really big advantage. But when I saw Zorn lose to Culpepper at the county assembly, you could see the video footage for yourself. I uploaded it. By acclamation, it was just this huge vote for Culpeper, and when they read the votes that as they were actually submitted, I believe she had over 75% of the votes, and he was the one who brought up at least three policy issues, whereas she used kind of like the Hillary Clinton-esque, I've worked with this person, I've worked with this person, I've worked with this person, and when she was called up to the stage, she had a whole slew of people, a whole entourage of basically every public official in the county standing up on the stage with her, versus Zorn's approach of actually talking about the issues and sounding a little bit like Bernie Sanders, and that he mentioned universal health care, which kind of resonated with me at that point, because she didn't mention nearly as much about policy as he did. So, yeah, what I saw was, as far as the people running for office, there was a lot more female candidates, and viable female candidates, that were getting people to vote for them than there was in the Republican Party. But as far as the actual delegates that have shown up to participate, not that much difference at all. And that might actually have to do with how I moved from El Paso County, which is like the entire metro area of Colorado Springs, surrounded, and surrounding like little townships around it, all being in one county, right? And then now that I've moved up to the Denver metro area, the counties that carved this metro area up actually, they might have something to do with this, because it might have been different if I was in Arapahoe County, which has a lot of Aurora and like 5 Points and stuff like that, whereas I was in the Adams County Assembly, which has a lot of suburbs, So that might have had something to do with it, but even then, I would figure that I'd see more minorities being around Denver than being around Colorado Springs. So that's my test of my camera today. Hope you guys liked that little insight into the gender targets that the Democratic Party apparently has in selecting their delegates. And yeah, that's my last real insight at this stage of the game. And I will, on Thursday night, be filming the Congressional Assembly. And I'll share that video with you all as soon as I can.